Today, we're going to recap an anime. I'll mention its name in the description, so hit play and let's go. Yumeko is a new student who transferred to Hyakkaou Private Academy, a school for the wealthiest children in the world. She joins the second-year Cherry Blossom class. Ryuta, the class president, feels shy about introducing Yumeko to the school. Surprised by Yumeko's sudden friendliness, Ryuta asks her about her necklace. Ryuta recently lost a bet to Mari, another student, and has become her servant. Although Yumeko is new, she's familiar with gambling rules. Ryuta explains to her that gambling is a popular pastime at the school with a long history. In these high-risk games, people bet with money or personal pride. Yumeko, thinking about these games, laughs maniacally and gets excited and even stimulated by the challenge. Ryuta looks at her in disbelief. In class, the girls ask a lot of questions about Yumeko. However, when Mari Satome introduces herself and invites Yumeko to play after school, the questions stop. Yumeko agrees, and the class prepares for the game. Mari and Yumeko stand in the middle of the class, and a bright light shines down on them. Mari suggests they play rock, paper, scissors while singing, as it is a popular game in the class. The students must draw one of the rock, paper, scissors options on cards, then throw the cards into a box. Mari and Yumeko pick 3 cards and play the game like a regular round of rock, paper, scissors. If there's a tie, the game repeats. Ryuta tries to warn Yumeko about something, but he is stopped by Mari, who grabs his collar. Yumeko enters the game with 120 valuable chips, each worth 10,000 yen. Her total wealth is about 1 to 2 million yen. The game starts with 2 chips, but after each win, Yumeko adds 50 more chips to the bet. Even after losing, she doesn't stop and adds another 50 chips. After her next victory, Mari reveals her true nature. With a maniacal laugh and wicked eyes, she challenges Yumeko. Yumeko, now with no more chips to bet, shows her school bag, which is full of 10 million yen bills. She reveals her true nature. Her eyes turn devilishly red, and with fervor, she talks about gambling and the true capitalist spirit in the world of gambling. She believes this is what really happens in life, and she finds the true pleasure of life in gambling. Mari thinks to herself that out of the 30 students, 21 are her slaves, and they draw whatever cards she wants. The game was highly unfair and had come to its final stage. Mari couldn't believe that Yumeko had won, and now she had to give her 8,800,000 yen. She lowered her head and asked Yumeko for some time. She explained that she didn't have the money right now but would be able to pay in a few days. Yumeko agreed and said it was fine, hoping to see her in class the next day. Ryuta left the class to meet Yumeko. He wanted to know how she had figured out there was cheating in the game. Yumeko explained that about 20 students in the class were working with Mari. But there was no particular pattern, no secret sound, and no signal. This meant someone was controlling everything. None of the students in the class paid attention to the game or to Yumeko. Therefore, Yumeko searched the class for someone the others were looking at. That person was Ryuta. Yumeko had used her handheld mirror to see the signal. In the final round, Yumeko tells Ryuta that her victory was by chance. Ryuta tells her that he can no longer stay there because he owes money and has to do their bidding. He then apologizes to Yumeko. Yumeko gives him 5 million yen so he can pay off his debts. In the last scene, Ryuta imagines Yumeko as the embodiment of gambling itself. The next day in class, Mari, who has now become Yumeko's slave, is tormented by the other students. Ryuta explains that the power in the school lies with the student council. Students are required to give part of their winnings to the council, and the 100 students who become slaves are given code names, such as Fido for the boys and Mittens for the girls. The reason the bullying is so intense in the school is because the current president of the student council, Kairi, is in charge. 2 years ago, Kairi, after beating the previous president, introduced the rules of money donation and becoming a slave. But instead of being scared of these rules, Yumeko gets excited by hearing about them. After her previous loss, Itsuki approaches Yumeko to play another card game with her. Itsuki is a first-year member of the student council who has never lost a game. They decide to play a game called Double Focus. In this game, 2 decks of cards are used, and players must pair cards based on their symbols and images. Their bet is 20 million yen. As soon as the game begins, Yumeko loses. She has no money left but begs to play again. With a mysterious smile and her eyes gleaming, Itsuki shows Yumeko a collection of nails she's taken from defeated opponents. If Yumeko loses, her nails will be added to this collection. However, Yumeko agrees without hesitation, and Ryuta is shocked. Yumeko thinks to herself that there's some cheating going on in this game. A hidden pattern or symbol quickly becomes apparent, and no one but her can see it. The symbol only appears after warm hands touch the cards. Itsuki always has a hand warmer in her bag. Yumeko suddenly calls her out, telling her she's figured out the cheating. She whispers to Itsuki that if her family finds out she's cheating using their company's stickers in this game without earning full points, it would be a huge scandal. Yumeko, having memorized all the card patterns from the previous game, defeats Itsuki and even wants to continue the game with higher stakes. The thrill of gambling excites Yumeko so much that tears well up in her eyes. Ryuta begs her to stop, but Yumeko seems indifferent. She tells him that by making her lose the warmth of her spirit, the game no longer excites her. They enter a room and see Mai losing in a life-or-death game against Yuriko. They are each given 2 swords, each worth 30 points, and must guess where the sword will land on the ground. When the sword hits the ground, if it lands on a positive 30-point spot, they earn 30 points, and if it lands on a negative 30-point spot, they lose 30 points. Yumeko wins and takes Mai with her. Seeing the Akuma mask in the room frightens Yuriko. In the life and death game, Yuriko, a member of the student council, had wagered her seat in the council, the entire club, and her girls. The noise causes Kairi, Rona, and Ririka to enter the room, which only increases Yuriko's fear. They play another game, and this time Yuriko wins. Yumeko reveals that the student council president had cheated in the end. Now, Yumeko is a servant and owes Yuriko 3 million yen. The next day, the girls come to mock Yumeko and call her Mittens. Yumeko decides to act like a cat, rolling on the floor and meowing, begging the players for food. This shocks and surprises the girls. In class, Yumeko and Mari are given betting slips to place bets on themselves. The members of the council can wager their entire human rights in gambling. Thinking about this excites Yumeko because she realizes that every game in this school could have incredibly heavy stakes. This situation terrifies Ryuta. Jun and a few other boys arrive to take Yumeko with them. They drag her to the back of the school and tell her to take off her clothes. At first, Yumeko agrees but doesn't go further. When Yumeko refuses, Jun grabs her violently by the neck and tries to choke her. However, Midari quickly pulls out a revolver and points it at Jun. Midari tells Jun that they should play Russian roulette. The odds of death in this game are 1 in 5. However, the boys hesitate and back off. Midari becomes angry and goes to the restroom. Yumeko and the other servants are forced to participate in a debt-clearing game, where they can exchange their debt with someone else, and the loser of the game clears their own debt. Jun, Mari, Yumeko, and Nanami play a 2-card poker game together. In this game, they use a deck of 40 cards, excluding jokers and royal suits. Each player is given a card that they can see but are not allowed to look at the other cards. The card is placed on their forehead so the others can see it. In this game, points are earned by matching either the number or the suit. If none of these conditions are met, it's a blind eye, meaning no points. And if there is a tie, the higher number wins. Each player is given chips, with each chip representing 10% of their debt. They have 10 rounds to play. Yumeko has the most debt, so her chips are worth more. In the first round, Jun, Nanami, and Yumeko each put a chip in the center, and Jun wins. Since Jun is the only one who has made a pair, in the next round, everyone but Jun backs off. However, Nanami, who was dealing the cards, also loses a chip. Jun starts mocking the others, calling them cowards. Yumeko cleverly forces Jun to continue playing and wins 2 chips. Meanwhile, an idea strikes Mari. She realizes that with her current situation, living a peaceful, comfortable life with a kind husband and rich children is practically impossible. Mari despises this thought because she hasn't been able to choose her own destiny. But now she wants to take control of her life. Mari places 3 chips in the middle, which makes Jun realize that Yumeko and Mari are collaborating. Jun hesitates to avoid losing any chips, but since Mari has the eye, it didn't matter. The 2 girls start laughing and mocking Jun. In the end, everyone was cheating, and everyone knew what cards the others had. Yumeko is at the top of the leaderboard, followed by Jun, Mari, and Nanami. When Nanami makes a mistake, Jun shouts at her, trying to intimidate her. Yumeko sees this and plans to finish the game with a trick. Yumeko hesitates, and Mari places 5 of Yumeko's chips in the middle, which means if Nanami plays this hand, she'll win by a large margin. Yumeko whispers to Nanami, tempting her to take revenge and stop the things that have happened to her. Nanami remembers how she used to like Jun and the other girls when she first arrived, but how they used to torment her. Jun still tries to intimidate Nanami, but ultimately, Nanami wins. Jun tries to end things violently, but Sayaka steps in and stops him. When the final results are revealed, June ends up in last place. Because June thought Yumiko's chips were worth more and had been fooled, Mari and Yumiko swapped their cards. In reality, neither of them had fully revealed their actual debts, only the amounts they wanted others to believe were their debts. They also sent some money to Ryuta, claiming it was a loan. June tries to attack Mari, but Sayaka steps in and stops him with a stun gun. At the end of the game, June is left with a debt of 310 million yen and becomes a servant. Yumiko wants to become friends with Mari because she enjoys the idea of team betting. The next day, Yumiko decides to remain a servant so that she can challenge the president of the student council. We've reached the end of another anime summary. Thanks for staying with us until the end. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more anime recommendations. Also, hit the bell icon to get notified. Until the next video, take care. Bye-bye.